Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is titled, What Makes You Attractive? And today's reading is one of my favorite types of readings. This is the podcast style reading. So if you are new to my channel, what a podcast style reading is you just hear my voice. You won't see the cards. You won't see me on video. You'll just hear my voice, okay? So yeah, I have 3 piles for you to choose from. As always, you are welcome to pick more than one, but please remember to pick using your intuition. I'm going to give you all a second to pick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. So, pile number one, what makes you attractive? Why do people find you attractive? So, right off the bat, you are somebody who is just very chill and low key. Like, you mind your business. You're not into like gossiping about other people or knowing like what's going on in other people's relationships. I feel like you're somebody who really like you can be somebody who's social, but I feel like you prefer that time to yourself. I feel like when you do go out, like you give off this vibe of like an ambivert when really you could be an introvert or somebody who just has like this reserved personality. It's like you're very chill and low key. And what I'm getting strongly is that you're not a judgmental person. And this is something that people find attractive because they can tell you anything and you're not going to like look at them crazy, like you're not going to treat them differently. It's like you just understand like human nature, pound number one. And I feel like you just understand that we're all here having human experiences. We have different things to learn. So, who are we to really judge somebody else? So people find this attractive about you, that you're very understanding and you're somebody that people don't really have to explain a lot to. It's like you just understand, and like people really love that about you because not often do you meet people who just are that deep and can understand because a lot of people are very surface level and they don't want to go that deep. They don't like talking about topics like that. Like when you're a deep person surrounded by people who are surface level, they can think of you as like, oh, this person is weird or this person draws too many conclusions of things, but really you're just a deep thinker. And that just shows like emotional intelligence here. That's something that people find attractive that you have. It's like you can see like both sides of things. You don't just see one side. And that's why people like talking to you. You may get people come to you with like relationship problems. For some of you, I'm getting that strongly because it's like you can see both sides of something. Like you're a good peacemaker. Like you can help people make up. You could be a couples therapist too, like if you wanted to pursue something like that, because you're really good at helping people see each other's point of view, and that's something that makes you attractive. So let's get into these cards. So pile number one, the first card we have is called Not a Butterfly Metamorphosis. So what makes you attractive is how you transform your mind, how you transform the way you live your life. It's like when you learn something new, you apply it to your life. Like you're not somebody who stays stagnant or stuck to the past. It's like you want to grow and you want to change. And this is what makes you attractive. It's like you're all for new experiences. You're all for growing and feeding your spirit. Like it's just the energy that's coming through is the word nourishment. Like you love to nourish yourself and nourish others. And that's what makes you attractive. The next card that we have is it's called 33, Not a Race, Rush. So you're somebody who's very like slow moving. You don't rush to situations. And I'm also getting like people are in a race in life. They're racing to get things done, but it's like you're not in a race because you're not competing with anybody. You're competing with yourself to be the best. You're competing with past versions of yourself, but you're not competing with other people around you. Like you're not trying to outdo people or or outwit people. Like you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, the old saying. But you're doing you, you're minding your business, you're staying on your P's and Q's. It's like you're not really focused on what other people have going on. And this is what makes you attractive. It's like you're in your own lane, so there's no traffic. The next card that we have is Scorpio. So what makes you attractive here is that there could be a bit of mystery to you. Like people don't know everything about you. It's like they may think one thing, but then you do something or say something that contradicts what they thought about you. So they feel like, I don't really know this person. But that's something that they find attractive because they want to get to know you on a deep level. But I feel like you're the type of person that when I think about you, pile number, when I see this beautiful box, but it has these locks on it. And it's like, it's kind of like this game. You know how when you play a game, you unlock different levels. And that's how it is with you. Like people have to really get to know you. They have to dive deep. Like you're not somebody who's surface level. Like you have to open up all those locks until you get to the top and then you open up the box and then there's the ballerina spinning and dancing. It's like you have that energy, but it takes a while for people to get that. It's like also it makes me think of that toy, like the ballerina, like I said, like you're winding it and then it pops open. It's like you're not somebody who's just going to show themselves to people, and this is something that people find attractive. The next card that we have is Venus. So you're somebody who is just very beautiful by nature. Like your physical appearance could be very beautiful. I feel like also you could just have like a good heart, and this is something that people find attractive, like the way that you care about other people. I feel like you're a girl's girl. If you're a woman watching this, like you care about other women strongly. Like you could be like a feminist here or somebody who just supports women and helping them to be more empowered. And this is something that people find attractive. You could have Venus and Scorpio as well. The next card that we have is the Ten of Wands followed by the Page of Wands. When I seen this, it made me think about how you have this ability to start over. It's like when you learn something new, you can start over because a page is a beginner. So it's like you can begin again. You can start from scratch. Like when you learn something new or when you're wanting to learn something new, you're not afraid to be a beginner because a lot of times we just live in a culture of like instant gratification. So people think, oh, when I read this book, I'm going to be an expert, but really it takes time. Whenever you're doing something, like you really have to take your time. Like I started reading tarot cards in 2019 and it's 2024. I have improved dramatically. But a lot of times people will pick up something today and think that they're going to be an expert by tomorrow. What's attractive about you is that you're able to take your time. With this 10, like you complete cycles so that you can learn. You make those mistakes, but you grow from them and you get better and better at your crafts, whatever it is that you want to do. You keep practicing. You may have this mentality that practice makes perfect, and that's right, it does. I mean, perfection is still subjective, depending on what you think, but still, you know. That's something that makes you attractive. Your ability to start again, no matter how many times something doesn't work in your favor. Because I don't know why I'm being, this is a very strange reference. There's some history coming through. So some of you may be history people, you love history because it was this person. I think it's Alexander Graham Bell. It's something with like the light bulb. Let me see. Let me see. Let me look at it. The eyes of Graham Bell. What's this stuff? Oh, he did the telephone. Okay, so there's something here too that just popped up randomly. So somebody could be good with like technology here. You could do something with technology, and this is something that people find attractive about you. Maybe you work somewhere like at a company like Cricket or Verizon or AT&T. This is something that people find attractive, like you working with technology. But it was also this story about the light bulb and how like it kept like not working and then like over time it yeah, Thomas Edison. Yeah. Yeah. But it's also I'm looking on Google and it's saying like somebody else, Joseph Swan. So we're gonna disregard the like facts part of it. I'm just talking about the spiritual part of it, meaning like they kept going until they got it right. Basically, that's something that you do, which people find attractive here, and you could be a fire sign as well because we have wands. You could look good in red. Okay, that's something that people find attractive. The next card that we have here is Pluto. So yeah, it's like you've had to let go of a lot in your life. You've had to transform. You had to move out of different neighborhoods. You've had to get different vehicles. It's like you've had to become different people all over again just to get to where you wanted to be. You had to sacrifice a lot, like let go of relationships. Maybe you had to let go of friendships and relationships that you had for a long time just because those people weren't serving your highest good. They wanted to stay stuck, but you wanted to evolve. You wanted something different. So sometimes it's sad to let go of those connections, but you're better off without them, especially if those people aren't trying to help you grow. The next card we had is Saturn. So it's like you had to go through this process of, elimination, but also just being refurbished and learning how to do something. Like I said, practice makes perfect. Saturn deals with time. So you took your time. That's why we got that card that says not a rush. You're not rushing. You're taking your time and you are somebody who is blooming because we have the blooming card. And it's this pretty rose on it. Like you bloomed because you took your time. Maybe it took you a couple of years, but you still got there, you know? You weren't in a rush. And that's the thing about not rushing, because when you don't rush, you can create a stable foundation. You literally can. When you just take your time. It makes me randomly, I don't know why I'm like randomly thinking about like those childhood stories like the three little pigs and how everybody's house got blown down, but the pig that made their house like solid, it has stayed solid. It wasn't able to get blown down by anything because that pig took his time. So it's like that's a weird reference, like, but that's coming through. So maybe you like to read because those are stories like the three little pigs and even like the history that we brought up. Maybe you like to read here, and this is something that people find attractive. Like you're very intellectual, very smart. Okay. The next card that we have is called Courage. So you're somebody who you are not afraid to go against the grain. You're not afraid to do something different and be different. And this is what people find attractive about you because you're not following trends. You're the one that's creating them. The next card that we have is called Inspiration. So, yes, like I said, you're the one creating those trends. You are an inspiration to people because you didn't allow defeat to consume you. Like, you didn't allow like things not working out. Because I feel like at one point in your life, you could have felt like you were just at the bottom and you were overlooked. You could have just felt like nobody saw your potential and greatness but you. But it's like the moment that you really decided to hone in on that is when everything changed. So people are inspired by your journey. And that's something that they find attractive. Your strength, your ability to get through challenging situations and still have a heart of gold. Like that takes a lot. Because you definitely give off the energy of a mentor. You could be a mentor. You could work with like teenagers and young children. Like you give me that vibe of somebody that could counsel people. Okay. Let's look at your channel messages. So also your loyalty, because I was hearing that song by Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna called Loyalty. And also the color sepia is significant. Sepia is spelled Sepia. Again, Sepia. If you want to look that up, it's something significant about that color. We already talked about you being brave enough to go against the grain. You're also somebody who's very responsible. You pay your bills on time. You have assets that you've worked hard for. This is something that people find attractive. Also, your transformation, like we talked about, you went from not believing in yourself to moving in silence and making things happen. So that's something that also people find attractive. Like you don't just tell everybody your plans and what you're going to do, like you just do it and you just shock people. And this is something that they find attractive. And also just the way you can start from scratch, like we talked about that, like you literally may make things from scratch, like maybe you cook food from scratch, and this is something that makes you attractive. But those were your channel messages, pal number one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah. All right, pal number two. If you chose pal number two, welcome to your reading. So, pal number two, you are very fashionable and hippie. Like, I feel like you may resonate a lot with the 70s. Maybe you like to wear a lot of bell bottoms and flowers, or like you may wear sunglasses that have flowers or hearts. Maybe you like to wear things that have smiley faces and peace signs and mushrooms. Like, you may wear a lot of those types of shirts to talk about positivity, like if you shop at Ross and things like that, or Marshalls, those types of decorated shirts that have positivity on them that have become more popular. You may wear things like that, okay, to show that you are somebody who is spiritual or hippie like, because you're giving me that vibe, okay? You may even like to dress in a bohemian style, or even like a avant-garde, even like the green, the fairy type of cottage core vibe as well here. This is something that people find attractive. You could be somebody who's fashionably late in a lot of situations. Like, you may not care because you're like, well, at least I'm gonna look good when I get there. So that's something that people find attractive, even though you could be late. They like that you put effort into your appearance. People really love, like, especially people of the opposite sex, love that you're high maintenance. Okay. They think that's very attractive, especially if you're a man and you keep your nails clean. Like, women really find that attractive. Or if you just, because it's giving me this vibe of like ASAP Rocky. You could be like that, like how he is, like he's very into his feminine side, and he's very tapped in. Like, he has a duality, and I really love his style and how he's not afraid to break norms surrounding masculinity. So if you're a man watching this, you may be one of those men who you don't care about masculinity and patriarchal standards of men. You just do you, and this is something that people find attractive. Okay, and if you're a woman, it's the same thing. Even if you're non-binary, like, you're just somebody that you do you. You're not wearing clothing based on gender. It's about how you feel. So, also, you're somebody who you're just very loving. That's why I'm getting like this peaceful, hippie type energy. So let's get into these cards and let's see. The first card you have is not a hairstyle, pride. So if you are from my other reading title, What Are People Realizing About You? You may have come from pile number two, but if not, just take what resonates. There's something about your hair that's very beautiful. Maybe you change up your hair a lot, and this is something that people find attractive. Or maybe you're a hairstylist, and this is something people find attractive. The next card we have is desire. So people really desire you. Like, people, and this is not even just lust, this is just like your energy. Like, people desire to be in your company. People feel like you have a beautiful energy, because I just heard Princess Diana. So you have a regal energy to you as well. I feel like you're very multidimensional, because you are this hippie, like mystic type of person, but you're also very regal. You're also royal. Okay. You may be somebody who likes to wear crowns, or you have a lot of crowns around you. Like, maybe you have a crown ring or a crown statues, things like that. There's something with crowns. Take what resonates, because crowns make me think about our hair. So maybe you're highly tapped in with your crown chakra. Maybe you like to write music here. Maybe you get messages and you write them down, or you express them. And this is something that people find attractive, especially if they're messages of peace and love. Or maybe you like to write love songs. This is something people find attractive. Maybe you play guitar, because there's somebody, it's giving me this rock and roll type energy. So maybe you like to listen to people like Willow Smith, or her, or Tyler the Creator. You may like alternative type of music. Okay, this is something people find attractive. The next card that we have is the Hangman. I feel like you really are somebody that is just about love. And we just live in a society where everything is about war, like even from the simplest things. Like, if you think about it, war is just simply competition. War is, we're better than you and we're gonna fight you to prove that. That's simply what war is. And I feel like you don't engage in that. Like, when somebody's trying to compete with you, it's like you give the energy of pile number one, so you may resonate. But it's like when somebody's trying to compete with you, you don't even get into that energy. And it's like you help people see things from a different perspective and see that maybe I don't have to be this way. Maybe we don't have to, especially if you're a woman. because women in our society have been designed to think that you have to compete with the next woman, but it's only for the attention of men. It's not even for it. And sometimes it is for looks and assets, but really it's about getting a man's validation because that's what we're taught as women that we're supposed to do, but we don't have to do that. So I feel like you are somebody who's very Aquarian like in your beliefs. Like you don't go, you're very unorthodox, very unconventional. You could be a feminist here, okay? Take what resonates. Even if you are a male or a non binary person, you could still resonate with that. Equal rights for all. The next card that we have is Four of Swords. So I feel like you're somebody who's like, you love and care about people, but I feel like you really cater to yourself and you do a lot of self-care which people find attractive. You could, like I say, you could be high maintenance, like you get your toes and your nails done, you get a facial, you go to the spa, or you do your own at home. Like you may do a lot of DIY things, or you may order different products for your skin, okay? Because I'm hearing like Curology for some reason, so maybe you do something similar. But yeah, it's like you take the time to take care of you, and this is what makes you attractive. Okay. So the next card that we have is Leo. Okay. Leo deals with royalty, being regal. Okay. So you have this royal energy about you. And it's just the way you carry yourself too. This is something that people find attractive. Like you shine bright, you stand out in the room wherever you go. It's like you light up a room. Okay, because there's a lot of light here. You literally light up a room. Pile number two. This is something people find attractive. And Leo is about pride, if you think about it. So it's like you're somebody who has pride in yourself, pride in the way you take care of yourself. And this is what people find attractive. The next card that we have is Jupiter. So you're somebody who really loves learning and growing. You could research a lot of different topics and educate people and teach them. And especially if other people are like sapiosexual, they really appreciate you teaching them things. People fall in love with your mind. Your mind is something that's very attractive. It seems like also people could get around you and get more lucky. And this is something that people find attractive about you. Like you're like this good luck charm or this good luck magnet. Then we have the eighth house. So you're somebody who is seductive naturally, but I also feel like you're somebody who has mature conversations surrounding like intimacy. Like a lot of people are uncomfortable to have conversations about pleasure, but maybe you're somebody who talks about that. And this has given me like the major that I did in college, women's gender and sexuality studies, is making me think about that. So maybe you're somebody who's well versed on those topics, and maybe you're somebody who is sex positive, like in teaching people about boundaries and contraceptives and consent and things like that. This is something that people find attractive about you, and you may be also into things that are taboo. But also for some of you, if you're like in college right now, somebody could be majoring in like funeral services because it's making me think about scorpionic energy. Like the eighth house is about death as well. So you may be somebody who's into like the paranormal, or maybe you have spiritual gifts to where you can, connect with, people who have passed on, and this is something that people find attractive. The next card that we have is Taurus. And then it makes me think about this abundance card. So we have an abundance card. So you may be somebody who you stack your money in private. And I feel like you look very luxurious. So people find that attractive. Like when you wear things, like it's always very luxurious. Like I feel like you like to wear a lot of gown-like things, things that are like that flow on your skin. You wear a lot of those things, and people find that attractive. Give me just a second, flower babies. I need some water. All right. So yeah, back to that Taurus energy. I feel like you're somebody who lives in the moment and you enjoy the moment, like you savor the moment, and this is something that people find attractive. Like when they come around you, it's a good time. Maybe you're somebody who likes to drink wine and just chill and relax, and people find this attractive. And then we also have the story of my life card, and it's like basically it's like it's this person that's being dishonest on the card, and it's like despite that, the person on the other side isn't like really phased by it. So I feel like you are somebody who likes to make love, not war. We literally have that card. So it's like you're somebody who you're all about peace, but you are all about boundaries as well. This is something that people find attractive because you're not all about the drama. You're able to peacefully cut somebody out of your life. You do it so peacefully because I'm thinking about people like Gandhi, like people that were really just about, we're not going to do that. Like, let's just do it in a peaceful way. Like, I feel like you're just somebody who's very relaxed and just calm. So you may resonate with pound number one here, okay? This is something that people find attractive about you. So let's get into your channel messages, okay? So pound number two, we already talked about your hair. We already talked about you may have come from a previous reading from the same pile, okay? Also, people may desire you, but it's forbidden because of their circumstances. So it could be they're in a relationship or like it's at a distance, or some people may even like it may be like people that are of the same sex that are attracted to you, but they feel like it's forbidden. Okay, take what resonates. What also makes you attractive is how much love you give, the way you're able to move on from people who hurt you. You also give this energy of Erica Badu. You transform people with your love. Mars in the eighth house, you could have that energy here. And then I'm definitely picking up gender as a social construct. So that may be something you think here. So if you're a man here, you may paint your nails or you may desire to do things like that because you don't really look at everything in terms of male or female. You just do it because it makes sense to your spirit. But yeah, those are the channel messages that came. I hope you enjoyed this reading, pile number two. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Mwah. Peace. Last but not least, pile number three. What makes you attractive? So you have a beautiful baby face and smile here. I feel like you're a very natural beauty. Maybe if you're a woman here, you don't wear a lot of makeup. Okay. And if you're a man here, you just naturally have this baby face, this handsome baby face. And the same goes if you're non-binary, you just have this beautiful angelic face. Okay. It's something that people find attractive. Let's get into it. So you're somebody who is very, very kind. I feel like your kindness has evolved because you used to be somebody that was super kind and didn't understand the importance of having, some limitations on that kindness. But I feel like now you have more discernment. This is something that makes you attractive because you're willing to give. You don't mind giving. You don't mind helping people out, but you understand that some people, when you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. So you understand that I can be kind, but I'm not going to be overly kind. It's like you give in little increments until you see that a person is really worthy of that full kindness, and then you can give more, especially if that person is reciprocating what you're giving them. So this is something that makes you attractive. Excuse me, I just had to get a sip of water. The next card that we have is the Hope card. So with this Hope card, not a constellation, you may be somebody who feel like you come from the stars, or people feel like you come from the stars. I feel like you have really pretty eyes and you have a twinkle in your eye. This is something that people find attractive about you, but you bring hope. I feel like you're very optimistic. Like when things are going bad, I feel like you focus on the positive. Maybe you're somebody who posts positive quotes, or you're always trying to encourage people to stay positive. It's not like you're in the toxic positivity. Like you're not giving the vibe of one of those people who feel like we should be positive 24/7 and never look at our shadow side and our negative emotions. No, it's not giving that. It's giving, yes, we can acknowledge our negative emotions and feel them, but let's still be positive because what we think about is going to manifest. When we think about good things, that's going to happen. You're somebody who really understands the law of attraction, and this makes you attractive. The next card we have is choice. So I feel like you make really good choices. I'm really getting here like you've made different choices from people around you, people that are in your same age group. Maybe you're somebody who didn't go off and just have kids and get married. You studied or you traveled or you took a year off before you went to college. I feel like you really got to know yourself and people see how that's paid off. Like maybe people could have made you feel like, well, you're supposed to be doing it in this order, but you created your own order and it's working for you. And this is what people find attractive, that you're able to make your own decisions without anybody interfering or projecting onto you. That's what makes you attractive. The next card that we have is the sixth house. So this is about Virgo energy. So and then on this card, there's like fruits and veggies. So you may be somebody who eats very healthy. You may like organic things. You prefer organic things. Maybe you wear organic skin products or vegan makeup here. You may be vegan, vegetarian, or pescatarian, or just somebody who's just very health conscious and people find this attractive. Maybe you cook really good meals, especially if you are health conscious. But like you may cook something healthy, but it tastes really good, and people can't believe that it's healthy because of how good it tastes. This is something people find attractive. You also may give back to people or help people or serve people in some way. And this is something that people find attractive. I feel like you may work at a daycare. For some of you, you may work with children or you may work at a homeless shelter or something like that. Because there's something about giving to people who are young and old, okay? There's this balance. Maybe you work at a nursing home too. Some people here could literally be nurses or doctors, or maybe you're going to school for nursing here. Take what resonates. Yeah. The next card that we have is the 11th house, so Aquarius energy. You care about the collective. You care about the collective. I'm sorry, pound number three. I had to clear my throat. Sometimes, like when I'm talking for a long time in my readings, my mouth starts to get dry, and my throat starts to get scratchy. So please excuse that. But yeah, with the 11th house here, like you do things for humanity's sake, like you care about people. So I feel like you do have some job where you're caring for people or doing something for people to make them better. Maybe you could be a dietitian too, or a dermatologist. You may be into like skin things. I'm also getting like a ethnographer, like somebody who is like anthropology here. Maybe you like to study cultures. If it resonates. And that's what people find attractive. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. So you are somebody who has a lot of discernment. Like people see that you're very sweet, but they also see that they can't get over on you. Okay, this is something that people find attractive because you're gonna hold them accountable, and they know it. They know it. Then we have the Fool card here, so it's like I don't know why I just heard I'm off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. So I feel like you have this beautiful imagination, and I feel like it takes you so many different places. It takes you to new places. It takes you to new heights. This is something that people find attractive about you. It's like when they're around you, it's like they've entered a whole new world or a whole new era. It's like your energy literally helps them to jump timelines. Pound number three, that's what I'm getting. Like you help elevate people to a higher timeline so that they're safe from low vibrational energies. People feel that when they're around you, and this is something that people find attractive. Okay. You have this peacock too, and it's the beauty card. And then there's a green here. It's making me think about food again, like these greens. So you may be somebody again who eats healthy. Maybe you drink smoothies or you have protein shakes or you work out here. And this is something that people find attractive. Like you really take care of your body, you really take care of yourself. And then with this mirror card, you hold yourself accountable. This is what people find attractive. Like you can look in the mirror and look at yourself and know the things that need to change and you work on them. And that's what makes you attractive. The next card we have is Sagittarius. So you're very free spirited, but you're also spiritually tapped in. Like I said, the Sagittarius card indicates being in different worlds because the Sagittarius is a centaur. So it's like with this full card, you go to different dimensions mentally. I feel like you can take people with you. You have that ability. It's some type of ability you have spiritually because I don't feel like this is your first lifetime. Pound number three, I feel like you may have an ancient soul where you just over these lifetimes you've acquired these gifts and they stay with you. That's what I'm picking up with you, because whenever I seen that constellation card, it made me think of a star seed. That's why I don't feel like this is your first time. The next card that we have is confidence. So you're somebody who has built confidence in yourself and you're building. If you don't feel super confident now, you're building that. You're setting that intention and it's working. People can see it. People can see that, like maybe you used to be somebody who used to get mad at people not supporting you or people not really seeing your vision, especially if this was family. Pattern number three, maybe you used to get really upset about that, especially with the women in your family. But you have to understand that this is your journey, and sometimes you're going to have to take it solo and you learn to be there for yourself, because that's what matters, because this is your life and you can't wait on somebody's validation in order to go. You have to go when your spirit says go. And this is something people find attractive. And with the Luna card again, this is making me think about intuition. You're very tapped in, you're very spiritual, okay? I feel like you could be a reader. Take what resonates here. You could. Maybe you help people have new realizations in their life. Maybe you help your clients, you really help them, okay? You really help them see things and break free from patterns that keep them stuck. So you could do something like that. That's what this serving may be, something spiritual. Okay. Some people here may even be preachers. Maybe you're into ministry. Take what resonates. All right. But yeah, that is what makes you attractive. Let us go to the channel messages. So it says that you didn't go for what was popular. You stayed true to yourself, and people see how that's turning out for you. So yeah, maybe you took a career path that most people didn't take, or something that they didn't really understand, but it's helping you. You're very kind and helpful. You're health conscious. We talked about that. You are very good with plants and flowers, and this is something that people find attractive. Your energy comes through like Drika Gates, and it's funny that I say that because she's a Virgo. You also remind me of Khalees. If you don't know who Khalees is, she is a singer, and she has a garden, and a garden and a farm. She makes products that are organic from her farm. She eats the food from her farm. Like, she's good with that. So you may be somebody who you have a farm here, okay? You know how to farm. Maybe you have chickens and eggs, or maybe that's something you desire, okay? And this is something that people find attractive, like you growing your own food and nourishing yourself and taking care of yourself, okay? You also may smell like vanilla, or you may like vanilla extract, okay? That's something important here. But if not, vanilla is something that's sweet. Again, it's emphasizing you being a sweet person, which makes you attractive, okay? You're also somebody who's very free spirited. You could also be a Cancer, just because you're very nurturing, very caring. I feel like you really enjoy cooking for people. That could be a love language here. And this is something that people find attractive about you, the way that you cater to them, the way you care for them. So, yes, pile number three, thank you so much for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Mwah.